Kungkungan Bay lies right in the heart of the Coral Triangle, the richest and most species diverse area on the planet. The bay itself is found right at the far-flung northeastern tip of Sulawesi. This is a selection of some of the marine life found in Kungkungan Bay, no further out than 20 or 30 metres. So we start off at the north side of the bay and head south. These are Banggai cardinal fish, which have a very limited distribution. They're found on a group of islands 250 miles south of here, called the Banggai Islands, and somebody has brought them up to this area where they've established themselves. Really some of the most ornate of cardinal fishes. And they've adapted to take refuge in these in the huge sea urchins, these which have 6-inch long spines. A sand perch species, one of the predators of smaller fish. Some more plate corals here, whole gardens of this, long tentacled plates, and the normal fungias, those like mushroom-like shaped corals. There's a galaxy coming up here on the left. So green and brown variants of the plates. Lovely brain coral there. The balloon fish, or the long-spined porcupine fish. It can blow itself up with air or water to twice its size, so fewer fish and sharks can eat it. The red and black anemone fish, fearless and always willing to see you off. This is a giant patch of clonal bubble tip anemone with all sorts of different species of clownfish here protecting it and having their home with it. Pale spot Dacilus here. And there's a grouper just hiding under that staghorn aquapora. There's a humbug Dacilus on the left. And this is Porites, this like boulder-like coral on the left. Very small mouths. And there's another Porites here with a feather duster worm in it. Well, these giant cushions of Fimbriophilia para-ancora. This is an active shoal of Indo-Pacific sergeant fish. Going in and out of the aquaporas there. Here's one of the larger clownfish, the maroon clownfish. And the coral on the left with the columns looks like Goniopora, the flower pot coral. This is the Chinese trumpet fish, bright yellow and with a very long jaw. These feather stars are in the Echinoderm phylum, which is the same group as sea stars, starfish, and sea urchins. They just trap the plankton drifting by in those nests. Chevron butterfly fish with the black tails. There's 3 similar fish, and these are very big butterfly fish, coral eaters. These are a pair of vermiculated angelfish with the yellow tails. These look like butterfly fish because they have the black bar going through the eye. Torch coral, much thinner tentacles than the long tentacled plate coral. You can see the massive skeleton there underneath the polyps. Acropora clathrata, one of the all-time classics of this reef. The mallow anemone, beautiful purple, quite close to shore here, and with its symbiotic clownfish, Clark's anemone fish. The Cerianthus anemone is in a slightly different group from normal anemones in that it forms tubes and a pair of vagabond butterfly fish. They're similar to the chevron, but they have yellow and black on the tail. And the threadfin butterfly fish has an all yellow tail. Acropora millipora, another really neat acroporid coral. Honeycomb oysters, like something out of Halloween. This is one of the most beautiful Ascidians imaginable. It's azure blue and tan brown. It's a colonial Ascidian, and just 3 foot under the top of the jetty there. Absolutely stunning. Ascidians filter the seawater, drawing in through small holes and ejecting out through these larger ones in the brown spaces there. Very similar to sponges, except tunicates are much more advanced. They will close those apertures straight away if you touch them. And a lovely honeycomb grouper, wending its way through underneath the sponge there. Going over a Montipora coral and just over Porites, and on the left of it is a Lobophilia. Huge mounds of Merulina here, almost cristate form of it. It's a beautiful tiered array of Acropora, tabling Acropora here. What a sight. And a lovely boulder of Platygyra, that brain coral there, which would glow brightest green under a UV light. A Lobophilia coral just below the black spotted puffer. A blue-green chromis is a very common fish in the aquarium hobby as well. But they do need feeding 5 or 6 times a day with the smallest amount to keep them going. They've got very small mouths and very small stomachs. In the wild, they're constantly eating. Javanese damselfish there with a black and a brilliant blue streaks. These are mushroom corals, fungus, and the green upward pointing coral is Montipora's, probably Montipora confusa. These are Bangai cardinal fish again, going among branching Montipora. Blue devils, as they're known locally. These are the two dominant species of coral in Kungkungan. The cup-shaped whorls of Echinopora lamellosa in the foreground, and then the billowing cushions of Fimbriophilia. There's my favourite butterfly fish, 8-banded butterfly fish, Chaetodon octofasciatus. And Moorish idols going behind. Orange line triggerfish. And there's a juvenile emperor fish, a beautiful blue with this concentric crescent moonlight shape pattern, absolutely unique. Cesio is going by, a fusilier fish. This is the south end of the bay, which is far more activity, deeper water. It's a lovely shoal of Moorish idols. Very large cushions of Fimbriophilia. And what makes Kungkungan Bay special is all these large polyped corals that are around. They're not often that you see them in other sites. It's maybe slightly slower. It's quite turbid water. There's a lot of plankton floating by. But there's certainly a lot of large polyp corals here. These are Baronessa butterfly fish, really smart looking fish, and obligate coral eaters. This sort of triangle on the head there. Always together, butterfly fish, they're always in pairs. Blue fusiliers shooting by in huge shoals.